Hey family, we are live, broadcasting live. This is the Conversation Room 101. Make sure it's only adults in the house. I need your mind to be open, prepared, and relaxed. Welcome to our home. Take your shoes off. We got some rules we need to go over. Be kind. No cursing in the chat. If you want to curse, call in. And no shouting out other channels. That's a no-no. We got one other rule. There is no judging our guests. It will not be permitted. Zero tolerance. And if so, you want to do that, guess what? We got security. And we will escort you out. Because over here, hashtag we don't care. We're going to be one big family. We're going to laugh together sometimes. We're going to cry. But we definitely going to pray. I thank the Lord above for everything. I lift him up and give him the glory. But you guys, right now, we're going to get our popcorn. And then we're going to see what's going on. And let me just park my car. And I'll be in there in a minute. I'll see you real soon.
The Copyright Disclaimer Act. The Copyright Disclaimer Act under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
TeNika Shenette, the plus-size doll. Do you like to shop online but hesitate because of the uncertainty about sizing and the quality of some items? Have you came across an outfit that you love to rock, but girl, you want to know more about the company and how their items run first? I get it. Check out TeNika Shenette, the plus-size doll on YouTube for the latest updates in plus-size fashion and styles. She does the reviews that you can use. Timing is of the essence, but she will reach out to any company if she's not already signed with them. And get that item or a similar item to try it on first and provide that honest review on sizing, quality, and shipping. She does it all, and often can get a discount code exclusively for her subscribers. So subscribe now and shop with confidence, knowing if you would size up, size down, or true to size. She also reviews wigs, bundles, hair products. Like I said, she does it all. Measurements are in the description as well as the contact information for business inquiries or collabs. So subscribe today to be a part of the dollhouse where everything is big, bold, and beautiful. The link is in the description box down below.
Hey family, how is everybody doing? Thank you guys for showing up and showing out, you guys. Come on. Make sure you hit the thumbs up as you come in the building. I'm trying to log on in here. How's everybody doing? It takes me everywhere but where I want to go. How's everybody doing? Let me see who's all in the building. Okay, it is Monday, but Wanda, how you doing, Wanda? Judy's in here. How you doing, Judy? Sonia Watts, Nancy LaRose, how are you doing? We got Judy, Miss Philly G is up in the building. Crystal, how are you? How are you doing? Lisa Calhoun, make sure you guys put the thumbs up and share the live. Share the live. This is just now coming 5 o'clock, but we need to let our family members know we're on. Katrina, how are you doing? Alvira and Sexy Grandma, infamous Truth is in the building. How are you doing? ITT, Rhonda Hayes, how are you? She wanted those pretty gifts. Lisa Calhoun, Barbara Cohen, how are you? How are you doing? And we got some more. Brenda Washington, Ruby Turner, Cherie, Carolyn McCoy is in here. Carissa is in here. Ruby, Information Man, how are you doing, Information Man? We missed you. You didn't come for the giveaway, Information Man. You won twice and forfeited the prize. Boy, I tell you. How you doing? Thank you for showing up. Monique, Zan Roland, how are you doing? There's my girl. Sugar Mama, how are you doing? Pearls of Wisdom, how are you doing? Thank you for showing up. Pearls of Wisdom is a member. Okay. Brenda Washington, Katrina, Loving God, how are you guys doing? How Valerie Montgomery, Miss Dee Dee, how are you guys doing? How are you doing? She said that's Rita. Pearls of Wisdom. All right. Freddie Johnson, Kenny Richardson. How are you? Gloria Bates. Come holler at us, sister. And we're gonna start working on our channel this week. This week could be the week that Information Truth Teller is now a new member. Thank you for joining. The Ruby's fan, infamous Truth Teller. Thank you for joining. Oh yeah, thank you. I'm doing good, Dana. How are you doing? Good evening to you. Okay, how is everybody doing? If I didn't say your name, I'm just trying to go through this real quick and get to the topics because we got an open panel. Open panel means you could talk about any case, subject, or things that's going on. Maybe we don't know about. Maybe you want to share with everybody. There's a couple of things, cases and subjects I want to talk to you guys about. Hey, Katrina, how you doing? Cheryl C, how you doing? Loving God, I see you in the building. First of all, you guys, there's a new kid that's missing, and the sad thing about it, her name is Mercedes. I got some of the information. I think it was down there in the Florida area because they said Polk County. She went with two girlfriends of hers the last time they seen her. She was with two friends. They were Snapchatting or whatever. But here's the thing. While we're not going to talk about it too much, I just want you guys to be aware. If you know anything, get in touch because this young lady is missing. I don't know what's going on, but the mother did come on TV and she has two spokespeople with her. One was Black Lives Matter and one was a pastor. And I guess there's rumors flying around about what happened to this young lady. And the mother do not want it to just get out of hand. So she says she just do not want a lot of social media. If you're going to put anything out about her daughter, Mercedes, that's her name, in the Florida area or the Polk County. I'll just say Polk County. You guys know where that would be at. I think it's the Florida area. But she says, just, let people know if they know anything, seeing anything, then please notify Black Lives Matter if something's going on with the case, because I guess there's a lot of rumors and stories, and the mother says no. I'm gonna watch this case and how it works out to ask, the community to not put a lot of information out there. And there's like, even if it's true, they don't want it out there on social media. So I was just really watching it and going, wow, how are you going to get people coverage if some people going to talk about it? But they're pleading to the community to say something. And it felt really sincere when I was watching and listening to the case, you guys. How you doing, Avalanche? I see you in the building. How are you doing? Anyway, you guys, we had a very good time Friday, and then we had it Wednesday, and then we rested Thursday. We came back Friday. We hit it really hard. We ran out of time. We got so many gifts still left over. We're just saving for next time. It won't be so, rough to get on in there. And I want to just say congratulations to everybody that won. If you did win and you won, you got to send me your address, you guys. I've got a lot of boxes already ready to go, and I'm shipping them tomorrow. I was going to ship them today, but I just looked on my phone and I said, I got a lot of addresses in here. That means people contact me. They knew it was their number. They put the name there first, like I asked them to do. Kendra, you got to follow rules, because I don't want to go through a whole bunch of messages to get your address. Then I'll be like, I didn't get it. I didn't receive it. And I say, well, you know what? You didn't follow the rules. Then, you're going to get it, but it's going to come late because I got to go look for, you guys don't know how many messages and text messages I get and I read, and I have to be on the phone, and you guys don't know what I'm doing. I'm doing some stuff. Miss Didi says Christmas in July 2022. That's right. Yep. But I think it's going to be a little bit funner because I'm going to try to do a little bit more interactive acting, because I like when you guys interact instead of we just pick it. I mean, it does interact when you pick names. It's interacting, but I want you guys to go, like maybe call 3 names instead of 3 gifts. And then you guys got to only but you 3, answer a question or, come up with a number between 1 and 10, and it be to those 3 people. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. I want to be more interactive with you guys, and I want you guys to be interactive instead of just looking at a screen. Because one thing that I know our channel do, we are a very mature channel. And I know when I was raised and growing up, I was told to stay away from the internet. Stay away from the internet. Church people told me that. My mother told me that. They was like, it's a sign of the times and do. So we're a little bit behind with all of this technology, which if you know anything right now, you got to know this stuff to make it and survive. You got to know technology. Before this channel, I couldn't, I mean, I can log on, but that's about it. Look at some stuff and other stuff, but you got to know how to maneuver and navigate through these apps and do stuff. So I want you guys to, really just get involved in those things. First of all, today is, let me tell you, today is December the 20th. Remember that the California boys came up missing December the 21st. So it is 1 year. Well, tomorrow will be 1 full year. They have still been missing. There is no new updates on that. They were putting out the numbers. Like I said, you guys, we still keep up with what's going on with who, no matter what. Because if you care, you would follow the story and not just pick up another story and just run with it because it's a hot topic and everybody's listening to it. I know a lot of channels do it. It gives you numbers and stuff, but Tracy Ian says, I'm not good at computers and stuff either. So I'm not either. So learning this stuff has really helped me to get it, like jobs and stuff. When you go and you have to fill out this and I feel a little bit more confident now. I'm not saying I'm a whole bunch better, but a whole bunch better. My English teacher will whoop my tail saying that. I'm not better as much as I thought I could be, but I think I'm doing pretty good for my age because, I'm going to retire in a little bit. Once I retire, I don't need to know this stuff, but right now I do need to know it. You guys need to know it too. It's taking over. Let me tell you something, family. If you don't believe me, I can't remember where this guy was at. My husband and I was looking at it over the weekend. And he went into a Walmart. And the only way that you can buy in this Walmart, he showed it to us. He was streaming live. You have to have something on your forehead and your fingerprint to even open up the glass case to get anything. Have you guys seen that already? And he was like, it's here already. You cannot buy it unless they're going to scan your forehead and your handprint. Have you guys seen it yet? It was at Walmart. I kid you not. If you think I'll find it, I don't know how I'm going to find it, but I will find it. And I'm going to try to download it. It was at Walmart. And he was like, it's here, you guys, it's here. And I was like, honey, look at this. I said, is he fooling? Is he lying? He says, nope. You got to, they're screening your forehead and your handprint to open up, the aisles to just like, I don't know if it was just the beer in the alcohol or the water, the wine coolers or whatever, but every case was locked and up on top. They screen your forehead and you can't open the doors. You cannot buy. I'm just telling you guys. And I was looking at it and I was like, oh my goodness. It was at Walmart. And the people were in the chat saying, yeah, it was at their Walmart. And Walmart had made an announcement. I'm just letting you guys know that guess what? They're going to install them in every Walmart. I don't know where he was. Like, I kind of went late in the chat. Like, he had already talked about where he was and all of that. And I had missed that part. Tina Powers been a diamond member for 6 months. Congratulations, Tina Powers. All right. She said yes. And she earned her badge. Was it in the USA? Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. I wish I can, like, if my phone would go back, even ice cream. Yes, yes, yes. I know you guys don't believe me, but I guarantee you that I will find that video and take a clip from it and show you guys. I will find it. We can't get dinged because it wasn't on a YouTube chat, but I will find it. But I don't know if my phone's going to, I don't know if it's going to let me download it, but I can still show it to you from my phone. I could still get it. I'm just letting you guys know. We're just going to have to maneuver away from YouTube for a little bit. They're still probably watching us and we're just going to have to behave. Okay. Okay. So I wanted you guys to know that. And I wanted you guys to know that tomorrow will mark 1 year of the California City Boys missing. So there's no new updates on where they are. They have spoken to some more people. And I think they said somewhere around like 40 more interviews. They had more searches, but they have not spoken. Tracy Ian says, I will not shop at Walmart if that's what's up. Well, it's coming to your town, and you'll say you heard it from me first, you guys, because I'm telling you, the guy, when I seen it for myself, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. And it was a legit live. See, it was very legit. Trust me. I couldn't believe it myself. I showed my husband. I was like, honey, look. And it wasn't a happy, time when we seen it for ourselves. It's actually here. That's what the guy was saying. It's here. So maybe his title was "It's Here," but maybe I could see it. So anyway, I want to make sure that you guys stay in tune with what's going on. Okay, and let me tell you, we got family members need to be prayed for. Freddie did call me and tell me some family members need to be prayed for. But I didn't write them down because I was actually trying to get those gifts out and all of that. So anyway, let me tell you something else, you guys. There is, you guys know that young Dolph that got killed in Memphis, Tennessee, you guys. Well, they had his service, and I can't remember what day it was they had his service, but 21, I think a lot of people went to jail. They went to the service. Now I'm going to tell you guys what happened. I've got some of the information right here. So, because I was paying attention to this because I couldn't believe what happened. So it says multiple people arrested during young Dolph memorial service. A chain of chaotic events in the FedEx Forum parking garage during a celebration of life service. They did a celebration of life service. It landed multiple people behind bars Thursday afternoon. So they did the service on Thursday. And according to the Memphis police, officers saw a stolen Infiniti Q40, whatever they want to call that, in the parking garage. And there was 3 suspects arrested at 1:38 p.m. and a firearm was recovered. Okay. Now, these are the friends and family of young Dolph. While officers were arresting those suspects in the Infiniti, a black Mercedes attempted to speed out of the parking garage, but wrecked inside the garage, hitting a pole. The police said the driver's name is Guyland, tried to flee, but Key and the passenger, Antoine Flynn, they were arrested. Now, police identified the passenger of the stolen vehicle and the officer involved in a shooting. There was a shooting there. So Key had 9 outstanding warrants and Flynn had a warrant for theft of property, $1,000 or less. Officers also recovered a gun and marijuana. Law enforcement in the area also saw another stolen Infiniti Q40, but the suspects in the vehicles got away after they crashed in the 1000 block of Kyle. Okay. The police identified the passenger of the stolen vehicle that was involved in the police shooting as they said it was a woman, but they got a man's picture on here. So I'm not going to show it to you. So something must be wrong. Maybe they're showing a man's picture, but it was a woman. Her name is Kayla, you guys. So I'm just telling you what all happened at this funeral for young Dolph in Memphis, Tennessee. Ooh-wee. I didn't know Tennessee was so tight. I guess they ain't playing down there. So Memphis police have identified the passenger of the stolen vehicle and the officer involved in the shooting that took place in the Southwest Memphis Wednesday. This comes hours after the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations identified 25-year-old Kayla Lucas. Okay. Kayla Lucas as the driver of the Ford Fusion that was stolen from Oliver Branch, Mississippi on Thursday. The woman killed after officers opened fire, who was Kayla Lucas. So they were chasing her, and she was riding in a stolen vehicle. And so all these people riding in these stolen vehicles down there in Memphis. Yeah, another person. I'm just telling y'all to go to this funeral, and maybe they had a sting going on because, ever since young Dolph passed away, you guys, and I don't know him well, but a lot of people have reached out and told me good things about him, that he was taking care of a lot of people, and some people now, they're not going to be able to survive because he would give to people that was in need and the poor and things of that nature. He buy them cars, he pay for their food, he give them rides, and I don't know, but everybody was around him had, something going on, stolen cars and stuff, but who knows? But Memphis police said that they were near 3rd Street and Brooks Road checking out the stolen vehicle when they tried to stop Kayla. That's her name, Kayla. And she struck a police vehicle and a police officer fired. She rammed the car into the police. She didn't mistakenly do it. She rammed the car. And I'm going to just show you guys her picture. Now, this is not a good picture of her. This is her, I guess she was getting, booked in. So this is her picture right here. She actually is this picture don't do justice for her. I guess this is what you look like when you don't get all dolled up or anything. But she actually rammed her vehicle in there. And her friends and stuff says, believe it or not, she is a very kind person. And she wasn't always correct in the ways that she did things, about doing things, he said. But when you look at someone's potential, she had the potential to do anything she wanted. I just don't think she got the opportunity to do it correctly. So, you know how there's some people that are very, but I mean, and it just kept going on and on and on. And I ran out of room. So I just stopped. I was like, they was telling about all the people that they had arrested while they were coming to show their respects for this funeral. And I just needed to share that with you guys because I don't know what was going on there. Now, there was a 3-year-old named Emmanuel. The 3-year-old Emmanuel, he died, you guys. I'm just letting you guys know. The mother is being investigated following his sudden death. What happened? I don't have my papers here, but someone called. Police initially responded to the scene after someone called a hit and run. Said her 3-year-old, was hit by a car. Okay. Upon arrival, the firefighters located the victim. He was unconscious and not breathing, suffering from bruises throughout his body and being carried by his mother. The statement reads, the EMS transported the victim to the hospital where he was pronounced deceased. 3-year-old Emmanuel. The investigation into Emmanuel's death continues, but the coroner have labeled it a homicide. Did you hear what I said? They called the police and said, hey, my child's been hit by a car. They get there, the mother is carrying the child to them to get help. They said bruises is all over this child's body. The coroner's done said this is a homicide. Infamous Truth says at the funeral, that little boy too, or is that a different story? This is a different story. This is a different story. Okay, I had a feeling that was coming. She lied. The dad killed him, I heard. Soldier Girl said the dad killed him, I heard. Okay, so the investigation into Emmanuel's death is continued, where the mother, her name is Shanice, you guys. If you want to look it up, find out some more information. Her name is Shanice Moore. It's spelled SHANICE MOORE. Let me say it again. Shanice Moore. If you want to look it up, look more information up. Her name is Shanice, SHANICE Moore, MOORE. And allegedly, she told the police she had left her son with her boyfriend, who is not Emmanuel's father, before returning several hours later to find her son unconscious. So now she done told the police he was unconscious. Maybe the boyfriend told her, oh, he got hit by a car, brought him in the house. And she's like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Her boyfriend allegedly told her that Emmanuel had been hit by a car per the police. Okay, Emmanuel's aunt, LaWanda Moore, told the reporters that the members of the family doubt the boy was struck by a car. And the family is saying, I just want justice. Whatever happened to him, to come to the light and for him to get justice. So the police have not filed criminal charges in the case yet. But anyone who has information about Emmanuel's death is urged to call the St. Louis, this is in St. Louis, you guys, Regional Crime Stoppers. So the number is 866-371-TIPS, TIPS, 866-371-TIPS. And let me see what else has came up. I think that's all that came up. I know we already talked about the little girl, Sophie Long, and we're still following that to try to find out what's going on there. That the father they found her safe, alive, and everything with the father in an unknown, and they're not telling nobody. Was she in Mexico? Was she in wherever? But you know, we did finally find the video, but it's marked where we can't use the video. And if somebody do use it, that's on them. St. Louis mom is Shanice Moore. Exactly. Tips. Thank you, Soldier Girl. Ruby, how you doing? Christmas to you and all, everybody. Thank you. So if anybody want to call in, share story, whatever. Heather, tomorrow will be 1 year since the boys was reported missing. Yes, Heather. Yes. I will put it on here for invite. I got it right here. So, and the only thing I've been doing is every day getting those packages. And I think my husband said he's going to help me go down to the post office and get them all out. And if you want money, you have to let me know if you want me to cash app you the money, or do you want me to send it with your stuff. I prefer to do the cash app. I don't prefer to send it. I haven't had problems with, several people, but there's been problems, which I say, I'm sorry. Ain't nothing I can do about it. But I have, if you don't have a cash app, I'm not going to tell you got to make a cash app. Just, we are going to, when it comes to the money, we are going to put the sign on there. At least we can be covered by the insurance. Hey, Belinda, how you doing, Queen Belinda? All right, I got somebody to talk to me. Come on now. Hey, Infamous Truth Teller, how are you?
I'm good. I'm going to close out my YouTube real quick so I don't echo.
Okay. Hey, we got Shay Faye. She has been a member for 7 months. and still riding with the family. Thank you, Shay. You go, girl. And she said it's still riding. Go ahead, Infamous.
Oh, we're good. I just chimed in because this is my family channel. That's what I just. I'll chime in even if there's nothing to talk about.
That's okay. It's Monday, and I know everybody's like, oh, just drained. Christmas is coming. People are stressed out. And right
Yeah.
after Christmas, we gonna hit it really hard. We gonna get some stuff done because we're doing pretty good building our channel back up. That's all we're gonna do.
Yeah, yeah. Well, my son healed. I don't know if I told you guys, but my son got bit by that dog on his neck, but he healed up pretty good. So
Good.
everything's all right. Yeah, we're good. I've had it harder, so I'm not complaining. I woke up today. A lot of people didn't wake up today, so I'm blessed.
Okay. What do you think about the California City Boys? I mean, it's been a whole year, and
I you know I did an interview with I'm not sure if you're familiar with Ray Sean, but he does because he lives in California City, and he was like one of the first people that was like boots on the ground. Like they were literally out there calling for their names that night because it's like a how you go on Craigslist and they have like the people can chime in like locally, if there's something going on in their area, and I guess
yeah,
they have like a little chat room or something. I guess that's where he found out they were missing, and I did an interview on there, so he really dedicates himself with those Cal City boys. But I just think they might be making a circumstantial case, possibly. I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping for because it's been already a year, and I'm just
right,
really hoping that's what they're doing because if it's a circumstantial case they have to have their evidence and everything whatever they if they have anything they have to have it airtight because if they have anything that slips up where it causes a reasonable doubt or anything then they can get off of if there's anybody that they have in their sites. So that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that that's what they're doing because usually it takes some time because a lot of the other cases, like the Maya Miliete case, it takes about a year, for them, those other two cases that they had, for them to be able to present it to the public and say, hey, this is what we have. This is who we arrested. So I'm hoping that's what they're doing. I'm crossing my
right.
fingers that they got because they just the last report says what did the detective say? He said it's like opening one door to a hallway, then opening up another door to a hallway, to another door to a hallway. And I'm like, that's such an open-ended answer. It doesn't really like why would you say something like that? We're already frustrated enough as it is, like it doesn't really he didn't really answer. He said they're not done with the investigation, but I don't think he should have said that. It sounds like they don't know what they're doing, is what it sounded like. But
Well,
I'm
I
not saying they
think
don't, but that just saying that on a news thing, like that just sounds like you're just kind of letting the
Heather
case.
Heather says Ray Sean is no longer in Cal City anymore because the West case, his truck was burnt at his mom's
No, he
house.
lives out there. He lives out there. He's from California City. He's been living out there since he was way young. I
Right.
talk to him
And
every
yeah,
day. Like we're like on a personal, like we're friends. His truck
right.
did get burnt.
The last time, yeah, his truck did get burnt. And the last time I seen he was there, but that's what Heather
Yeah,
said.
he still lives out there. He still lives out
Okay.
there.
I don't think he is in the Bakersfield area.
No, he's in the California City, because that's what when they found out on their local chat when they initially went missing. There's footage of him and somebody else that lives out there. Of her name is Lakeisha, I think, and they're out there calling for him. They were like Orson, like they
Right.
were the original people out there looking for him.
Right.
I
Well,
still have their banner on my fence.
right. I still got their banner too. I still got their banner too. Hmm. And this is the second Christmas and two boys are still missing. The sad thing about that is, and this is just something I was thinking about. I don't want to get too much into the case because, some people they get really
They're real
frustrated.
sensitive.
Yeah, and I don't need the stress or the drama, but because there's no new information, you know what I'm saying? But I do want to keep everybody aware that they're still looking and everything. But there's one thing that bothers me. Somebody did get in touch with me and they said that Trezelle and Jacqueline still don't have their kids.
Yeah, they don't. They actually have like an RV or something. I think they go check in on that house. They said that they go every once in a while. They'll kind of like it's like they sneak over there. They and if somebody's in California City right there by the neighborhood, like they'll like call it like, hey, they're over there. But they try to go over there. They've gone over there a couple times, but they're already gone before before anybody tries to go and try to ask them any questions. But I know that Jacqueline's mom, the what she had fostered and adopted or fostered some kids, but she moved to Oregon. She took off and
Oh,
she moved to Oregon, so she no
wow.
longer is even in California anymore.
She
But yeah,
finished
they're
with me.
still they got a new car. Jacqueline and Trizelle have a new car, and I think they have like a RV or like a some type of like a living kind of quarter. So I think that's what they're staying in, and they go and they check on that house when they think nobody's looking. I think, and because Ray Sean, because he lives out there, so he there was one time he tried to go kind of just go over there because he was gonna try to ask him some questions or whatever. But they're very alert about what's going on, or if somebody sees them over there, and they're quick to go, to take off before anybody kind of goes back over there to confront them.
Right. Heather's saying the last live she went to the chat, she said she wasn't no longer. Oh, he said he was no longer in Cal City. Knowing me, I heard wrong, laughing out loud. I'm on Bakersfield, California. Okay, well, like it's no big deal.
Yeah,
I
it's no big
mean,
deal. But Rayshawn is very dedicated. He's a very noble person. He's got a very good demeanor about him. He's got a good heart, and he's very like that's what he got on YouTube for. Was he's just very dedicated at trying to find those boys. Something hit struck a chord with him when they initially went missing, and he's very dedicated at just keeping their name out there and constantly talking about them.
yeah. Well, I thought he got on. I thought he got on YouTube because somebody was bad mouthing him.
Well, that too. Yeah, he was trying to be. He called himself a bully breaker because he's just one of those people that he's a God fearing man, and he's just a good person all
Right.
through.
Right.
So he just
But he doesn't know. He doesn't know no more than what anybody else know, right?
no, he constantly just wants to talk about them, and he'll interview people that have been involved, with the case. Like I did a little interview, and to just kind of like he'll bring people on his panel, and he'll do like, what do you think about the boys? Just trying to just constantly be kind of brainstorming and way just seeing different points of view. I think they
Right.
started a website
Okay.
to
That's good.
for
But
to do tips because what they want to do is just to have one email, one place where they send all these tips, whether they've already had the tips, but so that there's not coming from different directions. So then if they have it coming from one place and they can the police can check it, then they'll have all that information coming to one place so they can maybe there's something they might have missed, or maybe some fresh eyes might see something that the original investigators might not have seen.
right. Yellow Eyes saying, I think Rayshawn truly loves those boys and is genuinely trying to keep their names fresh and out there. Yeah,
Yeah,
I do
that's what
too.
he's doing. He's just being
And
proactive about them. He cares
and
about
here's
them.
the thing: when you're out there, if you live out there or close out there, it's easy to do and get kind of attached. You can answer questions like I want to know because somebody came to me and they said they had a picture of Jacqueline and they said she's pregnant.
Yeah, I don't know about the pregnancy, but I know she changed her hair color. From what I understand, it's a very sensitive because the family's still involved, and they're really trying to you know turn over rocks, and just trying to really get some information. They're very so there's some things that are kind of sensitive, and there's people that really care about these boys. So I just try to be cautious because there's a lot more people that are a lot more involved. So I try not to, I don't want to. I just try to be delicate about, addressing it because I'm not as engrossed as the family and everybody else because they're doing kind of some behind the scenes stuff too, getting gathering information. So they don't really want to put
Well,
it there.
yeah, and that's why I try not to, I
I
tread
just
light.
try to be sensitive to that because there's some
Well,
people that
you know what?
genuinely love these boys.
But here's the thing: if this is what I'm saying, if it is true that she is pregnant and they already CPS already have her other kids,
They'll take
aren't
that
they going
baby
to take
too.
this child?
Yeah, they'll take that baby too, unless they go to a different state and have the baby. That's the only way she would probably try to get away with. you know what I mean, having the baby and them not be involved with that baby. If that's you know, because I know there was somebody from Oregon. I actually know somebody from Oregon that moved to Arizona because she had some dealings with DCS in Oregon. So they were, I guess they did their research and they were looking for places to where, you know, if they can't go across state lines or something, like certain states or whatever. So they came to Arizona so she could have her son, because I think she had some previous cases with DCS. So she might possibly, if she's pregnant, that might be what she'll do. I don't know. We don't know. It's all speculation, you
Right.
know.
So we're gonna wait and try to figure that out. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. They have not given her kids back to her. That's a red flag. Don't you think so? Infamous True. ITT, you there? I'm gonna wait on you. Because I know there's kids there.
I hear you. My
I know
boys
you're
were.
probably
I had
dealing
to
with
go
your.
referee them every once in a while because they go at it. So they were screaming, and I was like, "Oh, I don't want you to freak us." It gives me a heart because I have PTSD. So when they scream like that, I'm like, "Ah!" It makes me like feel anxious. So I had to go get them to stop fighting.
Okay, so what I was asking is, if CPS still have her kids, that's a red flag.
Exactly.
Because
And they said that they haven't been to any vigils because they have vigils, and even if the boys have a birthday, you know, they have some type of, you know what I mean, to just have their names be recognized and so on and so forth. But
right.
that is a red flag. You're absolutely right, SP. I'm gonna be quiet and let you speak.
Okay, we got Phyllis on the panel. She didn't came up here. Hey, Phyllis, what you got to say about what's going on here?
I had sent you a text wondering about them because they had been just really in my spirit. I still think that the adopted parents have something to do with this. I think there was money involved. I don't know if something went wrong with a deal or whatever. But just the fact, I'm like USP, just the fact that they don't have the other children back, that speaks volumes. Even let's say Children's Services gave them a list of things that they had to complete. By now, that should be completed, or there should have been some news out, what they were requiring them to do. I don't know how much of that can be made public record, but it does seem pretty odd. My thing is, I just don't want this to turn into one of those cold cases. I really pray that they're still working on this, because whether they're with us or not, and I pray that they're still with us, um, the biological mother, and even the world, because the whole world got captured in this case. We need to know something.
Right.
And
Well,
I want to know this, Rayshawn. Uh, is he the one that has a website, Infamous Truth, you're talking about, or is it Bakersfield Police?
I think the Bakerfield, I think they kind of collaborated together. They kind of came up with this idea because, like I said, there's still on the dad side of the family, there's still some family members that are very, you know what I mean, trying to do their own kind of research and investigations in getting in more information. So I think they collaborated this idea to have that website. I'm trying to get a hold of Rayshawn right now to be able to provide the right information, you know, because I don't want to give half information. So I'm actually trying to call him right now to get that website. But I think it's to the police department, but I think they did it together. They kind of
And my
brainstormed it.
other question is, where exactly is Jackie and what's his name, her husband? Where are
Nobody
they?
knows. They're like MIA. Nobody really knows. They said they see them every once in a while, go to the California City House to kind of check in on it, but like they park in the back, and because California City, it's like everybody knows everybody over there, you know, and so like somebody kind of saw them a couple of times, but by the time somebody tries to go over there and address, you know, see if they can address, you know, ask them some questions, they're already gone. So I guess from what I
So
understand,
they're
they
just
have like
moving around, and they've
they
never
have like a
been
little
questioned
RV or
anymore by the
something.
police or
Huh?
FBI or anybody. They've never been questioned anymore.
Nuh-uh. Well, they just interrogated one time, from what I understand, and I think they did. I don't know if they took the lie detector or not. But yeah, they've only were talked to by the California city police initially, and then they were going. They haven't been questioned again. Nobody's really been, but they said that they're
Okay, well,
holding
thank
it
you.
under the.
Thank you, SP. Keep
All
up the
right,
good
thank
work.
you.
I just love you, girl. I'm
All
going
right,
back
thank you.
down the
I
chat.
love you too. All righty. Somebody just text me and says that Jacqueline was pregnant when the boys came up missing, so the child should be already here.
I don't know. I honestly, I haven't seen her, and I don't know if anybody's actually physically seen if she has a belly or not. But I think somebody else was. I think in
No,
the
there's a picture with
chitter
a
chatter,
belly.
she's pregnant.
There's
Yeah.
a there's
Is
a
there a
picture I
picture of her
have.
with the belly?
Yeah,
I
there's
believe.
a
Okay, maybe that's. I don't know. Maybe it was
I
Jacqueline
don't
that
but
didn't want the boys or
we
something. You know what I mean? Because nobody really knows.
I looked at the picture, but I don't know how genuine it is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
And it's just so mysterious that nobody, it's just even the grandparents on Trezel's side, it's just there was somebody that went by the house again just to kind of say, hey, where are the boys? They were kind of driving by, and the grandma was sitting on the she was sitting on the lawn, and they're just right there, and Josiah, Trezel's brother, they were just watering the lawn like those boys haven't been missing, just kind of nonchalant, like nobody's really been involved on that in that aspect with those boys, which is it breaks my heart.
well, this is what I'm not understanding though. So there's this young lady, her name is Mercedes. She came up missing. I can't tell you what day she came up missing because I just truly, the mother said she didn't want no type of energy on social media really. And I'm like, okay, but she has the Black Lives Matter person on her side helping her, and she has a pastor helping her. And I'm thinking, why nobody help the family, like a spokesperson come out and help the family?
For the California City Boys, like the on their side, the family. Is that what you're
Hmm.
saying?
Hmm.
I I don't. I just know that Jennifer Nobles is a very big part of the case too. She's the one that actually put her own money up and did the billboard.
I know, but she's not a spokesperson. She
Yeah, they.
just financially
I think
helps.
they're all doing it on their own. They're all doing their own kind of, footwork, trying to keep their names out there. And they just contact the news when they have vigils and when they have these little events to bring their names and keep them in the media.
Right, right.
I don't know why there's not a spokesperson for them. Honestly, there should be.
Yeah, because I'm looking at these cases. You know how we start looking at a whole bunch of cases and we're seeing where they get some traction. They get like on the case with the young gentleman that came up missing, the college kid, um Jelani
Yeah,
Day.
yeah, yeah.
His mother's going hard. She's going to everybody. She's got people speaking. She can speak very well for herself, but she got people backing her up. And they're doing everything. Matter of fact, the FBI has gotten on the case, but she says she's not happy because they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what they're doing and what they're not doing. But I had
And
heard
I
that
think I think the Gabby Petito case, the parents of Gabby Petito kind of brought that to the media when they had a couple conferences with the media, and that's the first thing that they said was, yeah, this happened to her, but there's a lot of other kids that need the attention, that need this coverage. So they said, and they were presenting it to the cameramen and to the news people, saying you guys need to put everybody out there, not just our daughter, but everybody. There's a lot of missing people
I
or
get
people that
that.
need help.
I get that. I get that. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Why should that have to be even said?
You're absolutely correct.
Okay, now you're aware of. Okay, here's the thing. Now you're aware because, and I'm just gonna just say it
Mhm.
because this colored child came up missing, and everybody went gung ho.
Mhm.
And so now that you say there's other kids out there, what do you mean? They've been out there.
Yeah. No,
So
but I'm
now
just
you
saying that.
want you say I
Yeah,
get it.
yeah.
It is a good sentiment to say it, but it's like, wow.
The why should it have to take somebody who's lost their child or whatever the case may be
To
to have
say
to present
it
that to the media? Yeah.
to social media that
Hmm.
look, these kids are coming, but it's
You're
just
absolutely right.
it all
Yeah, it
frustrates
strikes a
me.
chord. It really strikes a chord with me too.
But I'm gonna tell you something, and I'm gonna be honest with you. And I've been watching stuff.
Yeah.
It goes by like social media has a lot of energy. You
Yeah,
can
yeah.
direct it positive or negative. So a lot of people that has these panels and has
Hmm.
channels and stuff, they get into making awareness for kids and talking about the news or whatever. But they work for the numbers, so they go where the numbers are. So if I want big numbers, I just need to talk
It's
about
like
some.
sometimes they exploit these cases to a different degree to where it's not even addressing them anymore. It started gossip. It starts to turn into gossip about other creators and all that.
Yeah,
So that's why I
like
like this.
like if I want 200-300 people in here, only thing I have to do is just put on there. We're gonna talk about Summer Wells.
Yeah. Some clickbait
See what I'm
stuff on a
saying?
thumbnail or something. Yeah.
But if I put on here, we're gonna talk about California City Boys. We're gonna stay 100. That's
Yeah.
it.
That's why I love this channel.
See
That's
what
why
I'm
I'm so
saying?
loyal to this channel. I love it because
And
there's no BS.
yeah, yeah. If we talk about Jelani Day, we may get 80. But I guarantee you, if we talk about Gabby, we'll get 300-400 in here.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I've seen it happen. And
And in
people
social
thinking
media,
it's
I
their
think
content.
sometimes it has a hypocritical way of saying what their terms and conditions might be, or who's allowed and what's allowed to be talked about, and then you'll go and see, people that are doing not good things, you know what I mean, towards
Right,
other people, and
right.
it's like they're still able to broadcast, you know what I mean, still able to put it out there, and it's like basically it's like a cancer, and I don't understand it. It's so hypocritical because they'll shut down somebody else's channel, or you know what I mean, put them in YouTube jail for a couple weeks, and then there's
And-
somebody else that's over here doing all this stuff to people on the outside of YouTube,
oh yeah,
on YouTube, and they're still, I don't know. I think there's some hypocritical things too with social media too,
oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
because
Trust me.
it's all about that
When
stuff.
you make a group mad, they come at you, and you just and we
Yeah.
done made some people mad.
Uh-huh.
Trust me, we done made some people mad. But you know what? I'd be like, you know what? It's not even worth it.
Yeah,
It's
and
not
they
worth it.
they'll manipulate their subscribers to do things like mass flag people and stuff like that, even if they didn't do anything wrong, because the creator itself has a personal thing with that person,
Right.
and they'll do it too. Subscribers will do it. They'll do
Yeah.
all their dirty work for them, and
Yeah.
it's sad.
Yeah.
The internet is just like
And then
money.
people
Money's
want
the
it.
root of all evil. The internet is how you use it. It could be good or bad. It's just what
Yeah.
you do with it.
And then I tell people all the time, and then they're part of the reason why it's like that too, because I'm gonna tell you something. Somebody told me this, and I see that it is true. And I don't really like to talk about color stuff because people get really sensitive. But I mean, what's true is true, and what's not is not. And I
Exactly.
say, you make the social media what it is. If
Yep.
you entertain that type of
You feed
stuff,
that monster that, yeah, if you feed that
it's
monster,
gonna keep
that's
going.
sad.
But if you
Mhm.
don't feed it, then it'll be like, hold up, we can't just do that. Let's spread and talk about all the kids. You know that there's families out there that want someone to talk about their kids. Oh no, we're not gonna talk about Tyrese because guess what? He's a black kid,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
he's
yeah.
with some
Or
drugs or
it's not
something.
getting the attention like the
Or
other ones are,
trust
or
me,
whatever.
nobody, no news is covering it. So we're not gonna get big numbers. So let's
And it's
go
sad
talk
that
about
that's the way it is, because we should all be, you know what I mean? It should be about everybody. If they're really dedicated in, putting information out about missing people, or, cases that need to be talked about, then they shouldn't have a bias about who
yeah.
and what and when.
Yeah, and I just keep an update because, like I said, if when we quit talking about the California City Boys, there's no more information to share. Other than that, we're just gossiping.
Or just
You see what I'm saying?
rehashing or trying to
Yes.
revisit things that have already been, yeah. And it's like that's what's frustrating about this case, because it's just it feels like we're at a standstill, and it's
Right.
like we're not getting anything from anybody, not even from detectives or anything. They're not sharing anything, so we don't even know if they have information, or
Right.
they're just saying that.
Right. Right. And they're saying that they're still on it and they ain't lost traction and blah 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 blah. But I'm
Like
gonna tell you
opening one
something.
door to one hallway that leads to another hallway. I'm like, what kind of answer is that? Is people are frustrated with this because it just give us
You know,
something, give us a little nugget of something, like just let us know that there's something that's maybe, there's a direction you're going, or you're just kind of doing this because we're trying to keep their names out there. Sometimes it feels like it's just because they keep, they're doing things to make an effort to contact the media when they have these events. So it's like the attention is still going to go on the police department, and we don't know if they're just feeding the media whatever just to shut them up for a little bit, or they really have information, and that's
oh,
what's
exactly.
frustrating. That's
Oh,
exactly
exactly.
what's frustrating.
Right. You know, we were, I think, as far as the social media part, I think the case was doing very well. Everybody was on it. Everybody was jumping on it. But there's certain people do things a certain different way. There was people that was doing a video, doing live conversation chats all the time. No, I don't have a problem with it. If that's what you do, that's what you do. You
Yeah.
over there showing pictures. You over there showing people where you're going and all this other stuff. I mean, we're all trying to figure stuff out. But there was some people that was getting agitated, like, I'm this, I'm that, woo, 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 woo. Okay,
Yeah.
so here's the thing. I'm in a
You're
whole
losing
different
focus
state.
on what's really important.
Right. I'm in a whole different state. I can't drive down there and know where I'm going, what I'm doing, whatever. But I can make phone calls. I can hit people up. I can hit celebrities up. I can do this. And
Use your resources.
when you come together, and you say, okay, we may not can talk and say this is what I'm doing, but okay, the arm don't tell the leg, okay, you move when I move. You don't.
Yeah.
The arm gonna move when the body comes together.
They're
And
unified. Yeah.
yeah, and instead of fighting each other, saying, "Well, Sid, I do this and I do that," and let the arm do what the arm do, let the feet do what the feet do, let the mouth, let the ear do what they need to
Exactly,
do.
because
When
everything
the
has a
body
function.
comes
And if
together,
everybody has a function. Like somebody might be a better person at numbers, and another
yeah,
person might be a better person at contacting resources. So if
right.
it unify, it would be a bigger entity in keeping the positive light, and getting answers.
Yeah,
Putting
the
our
pressure.
brains
I
together.
think the pressure that we could have saturated the social media with the pressure, with
Uh-huh.
everybody just staying on that subject, the
Yeah,
gun
it's
gun
just a way that
divorce.
it's just, I think there's such a social disconnect, and this has been happening for a little bit, and I'm 41, so I think I'm like one of the last of the generations of the dying breed where we still kind of had the respect, the basic morals, respect, and you don't call somebody out their name, or you don't talk about things. But I don't know where it got lost in translation, but I'm even dumbfounded. It's just like I don't understand how people can conduct themselves and lay their head down at night and be okay with that.
Right.
Some of the things that they do, or the way they exploit children, and these cases. Like, why are you using it? It's like they have no conscience. I'm not saying, because I don't judge, it's not my place, it's God's place, but it's very disappointing, and it's dumbfounding to me. Sometimes I can't even wrap my head around how many people, and just the masses of people that just really are not truly concerned about this. That's why I love your channel, SP, because
Well,
it's
I'm
genuine.
gonna tell you something. I mean, there's days go by that I can't, I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, they stay on my mind. But I guarantee you, uh, I think about every kid that has not been found.
Right. But you have
That
a
we
focus. You
we
have a
cover.
focus of what your goal is. You know what I mean? Like, I'd like to just you have a direction. You have a vision. What your vision is. It's very clear, and it's very genuine. And that's why I love it. I'm so dedicated to your channel. It's not even funny. Like, you're my channel, like my family channel. I can come in here and I can kind of express myself, and there's no judgment, and there's it's just genuine feedback too. It's a good sounding board. If like talking to you now, it's a good sounding board. It's a true genuine sounding board. It's not just somebody just feeding you whatever because they want to get something from you. It's like it's a give and take kind of relationship.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, thank you. And with this anniversary coming up, the day that they reported him missing, December the 21st.
Yeah.
It's just, with Christmas coming up,
it's just it's gonna it's very
so
I don't even have words for it because it's just,
I know
it's already been a year and it seems like it was just yesterday, but look at how much time has passed and nothing's been done. Nothing's no progress.
Nothing. They haven't found anything. They haven't arrested anybody. They haven't.
They said they've interviewed a lot of people. They're giving numbers, but I don't understand that they'll we've interviewed this many people, but I'm just thinking, I don't know. Even all of us that have been genuinely invested in trying to find out information, I don't even think we've uncovered that many people to that might be linked to it, but we don't know as much as the police do.
They were acting at first when they transferred the case over to Bakersfield like they had this strategy. They had some really answers. Mm-hmm. There was a reason why they took it over there. Then they turned around and said the resources was there. That was their home base, but that didn't even make sense because here's the thing: what if the kid? Something had to happen to the kids in Bakersfield for you to transfer it to Bakersfield.
That's what they said in California City when they had the dogs. They said that they had scent of them in the house, but they didn't find any scent of them outside the house. So it could have been their toys or their sheets or their clothes. So that's what we started pondering before I think they even transferred the case. But I think California City Police, it's a very small, it's like 12 officers, you know what I mean? And it's a lot of them are like the chief is he's a retired police officer from LA County, or he was an LA police officer. So I think he's still young and he felt like he wanted it. So that's how he got the job over there in California City to, be the chief of police or whatever he is over there.
He's not young.
No, he's not young, but you know what I mean? I think, he wasn't ready to retire. He didn't know what to do with his time.
What's his name? John? John not young.
But so I think that's why he applied for the California City because it's a laid back. They don't have that much, stuff going on in that manner. Right. But I think that they didn't know what to do and they didn't know how to handle it too. I think there's an officer too that's involved with that case. They call him 954 is his badge number. And he has been engrossed in this case since he was the officer that was there when DCS took the children from the biological mom. So that's what we're kind of looking at too. Like why he was there. You know how they have a police officer if DCS.
And I heard
that. He was in California City too when the kids went missing. He's a Bakersfield police officer. Before they transferred the case, he was over there too. So I don't want to get all conspiracy, but it's just kind of crazy that there's pictures of him when all the police officers are.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Even though he was the officer, see, I don't get off into that because I know certain things that even though that he's the officer that was there.
I'm not saying that he's.
I'm looking at it like this. When you go, okay, that's your job. When you go do your job or whatever, and I'm not down to nobody. I ain't heard what nobody said. But see, I'm a nurse, so I see kids get taken all the time. And that's just your job. You know what I'm saying? But you don't have no beef. I don't have no beef with this person. But if I see something,
I'm not saying that either.
If my report, if my charge nurse tell me to call this in, I call it in. People get mad at me and say I have maybe some hidden agenda or no, I don't.
You're just taking direction from who told you to do it.
You have to do what you're supposed to. So I don't get off into that.
That makes sense too. That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's their job.
Like when I was a dental assistant, you know what I mean? Certain things that we're allowed to do or certain things that we are, what our job is to do. But like we can't, like if they take x-rays of your teeth, we could go put them up on there. But if the patient starts talking to you and saying, what's right, we can see where your recession is. We can see, we can see all that stuff, but we cannot have that conversation because we're not the doctor. So
Right.
that's where the malpractice thing could come in, or
Right.
something, because it's not that we're not authorized, or we're not certified to be able to provide that information. You have to wait for the doctor to come in. So we kind of would just, but we can't make any comments in regards to what's really on the X-ray.
Right. All right. We got Betty. She's on the panel. She's chiming in. What's going on, Betty? We can't hear you. You squinching though. You squinching your eyes. Where's your glasses at?
She got something to say, huh, Miss Betty? I love hearing her point of view too.
We still can't hear you. Did you turn on your mic? We can't hear nothing you saying. No. Cannot hear you. Go out and come back in. So she's going to go out and come back in and see if that'll work. We see a baby. We see a baby. We see somewhat of a baby. Hey, hi, hi.
They like to go ham, so he was talking, but I had him on mute because he starts jumping around like crazy. The energy goes.
Oh, yeah.
This is my youngest. He's got me lit. He's no fear, no nothing. This boy, but he's got a good heart. He's a good boy.
Yeah.
But right now he's trying to get attention. I turned the camera off, son.
Yeah. Well, we're going to see what Betty has to say.
Yeah,
Jamal said,
I'm going to stay mute.
Okay. Jamal said, anyone that has any information on the boys to contact the police officer. That's what he said.
I left a link to your channel, and I did message Ray Sean, but I think he went to the beach yesterday. He needed a break, but I invited him to come to if he wanted to speak on anything. So if he shows up, so you could just meet him, maybe. I sent him a link.
I know Rashawn. It wouldn't be like I'm meeting somebody new.
Well, just like, if he wanted to come on or whatever, I just shared your link to him.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I've been in his channel before. I've watched him lots of times. I actually was following him. I think I follow him and watch what he do, what he talk about. He actually even went to Las Vegas and
for Amari.
Mari was already discovered, but he still wanted to, go out there. So see what happens, Hey, Betty, I see you called in. What's going on?
Yes, I don't know. I was having problems with my laptop. Good evening to everyone. Good evening, Infamous Truth. How are you this evening? It's always a pleasure.
I'm good. I'm excited to hear what you got to say, Miss Betty.
It is very puzzling to me. It's been almost a year that the two little handsome men have gone missing. I've always felt like it was a family situation, that this was a tug of war. And they are, I believe that they're still living. And they're with a family, whether it's somebody within the adopted family that was able to get them out the area for a minute, and they are still out the area, and or the actual natural mother's family. I just don't believe that anything tragic has happened to these young men, because they were so young. They could change their names, and they were answer to whatever you called them. So if their names was classic and sincere, and they changed their names, they were young enough to pick up on the new name. So even though, people look like people, and if they moved them out the area and don't take them out, little kids that age, I said it at the beginning, you're not sending them outside a lot. We were in COVID. So they're not running around outside that somebody can really see them. They don't have to go to the grocery store for themselves. I still believe that this was something between the father, what's his name, the young man, I can't think of his name, his wife, What did you say? I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
What
The
father?
biological father or the adopted father?
Adopted father and a
Trezell.
natural mother.
Trezell and Jacqueline.
Yes, not Jacqueline, the mama, the actual mother. I believe her and the biological
Ryan Dean?
adopted father. Yes, I believe something was at one point with them. And even though these boys have dads, something she had agreed on. And then when he didn't come up with what she asked for, it went another way. I just believe that they are still not far away, but they are far enough away that even if when they move around, people can't identify them because they've allowed them to grow hair. They've changed. You understand what I'm saying? Whoever has them, kids change every day. You know, their shoe size changes, whatever. And so, yeah, I hold on to that. But I wanted to say, I'm like you all. I don't understand what it is that we have done in this hour. I don't mean the time, but in this season, these seasons that we've come into, that we don't have a problem getting rid of our kids. Why? And this is not, I'm not color. This is just across the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
Why? What is it that you think that you're going to gain from taking that baby's life, or for sitting there and letting a man diminish your child to keep from taking that blow?
Or sitting idly by and watching somebody put their hands or hurt your child as well, you know?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And don't misunderstand me. We're women. We can't beat men. I know that. I understand that. But when you see, before the baby comes, you see certain things. When he hit that baby one time, daddy or not, and it damages the child. I'm sorry. I'm from a different, and you just said it, Infinite's truth. I am from a different era. So the era I came up in, and the women I watched, they fought. I'm not trying to be funny. Mr. Jones got a frying pan upside his head. Okay, it wasn't no you were gonna punch her and that was it.
They would shut it down. They would shut it down right from the beginning. Like, you're not gonna do this again, and drawing some lines.
Exactly. So it was abuse back and forth, for lack of a better word. I say this in just sharing. I watched my uncle knock my aunt's eye socket out of her socket.
Oh my God.
And she had to have that replaced, a glass eye. And I promised myself, I was 11 years old. My parents didn't fight. I didn't know what that was. But I promised I would never let a man hit me. Now, he might have beat me up verbally, but I was going to fight for dear life. So if I'm not going to let you hit me, you're not putting your hands on my kids. Even if you are the daddy, it's a way to discipline your kids. I didn't beat my kids a lot because I knew sometimes you just forget that they're kids and go overboard. You know what I'm saying? You keep punching and something you think about. So I punished a lot. I took away things. But these girls are killing their kids. I mean, every day. How you want somebody hit your child with a car and then you call police?
Yeah.
Really?
Or even like lie about it, lie for somebody else's, maybe not even biological, like it's just, I hear what you're saying, Betty. I hear exactly. I know what you're saying.
I just don't.
Well, the funny thing about that is, if the dad told her that and everything, why is the police investigating the mother though?
And then also too, if your child got hit by a car, the last thing you want to do is pick them up and actually carry them, because they could have internal injuries. And why would you run them
Or
toward
broken
the
back or
emergency
broken
response?
neck?
That was like overacting. I feel. I think this story speaks to.
She probably didn't want them to come into the house.
Yeah.
And see what happened or whatever. And I'm gonna tell you something, you guys, and I hate to be gross, but 9 times out of 10, when they're beating these kids, they're not just beating the kids because it's a kid to beat. it's usually some, and they'll never put it on there that this child had some disturbance in their private area.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
To
They're
keep
not
them
going to say,
quiet.
yeah, they're not going to say that when they're putting it on the news and stuff. But I bet it's in the report.
Right. And
Or they had a drinking problem or something. There's something that that altered the mind state to where that person, just an abuser, just somebody who's an abuser. That's basically that is. I just don't. If anybody puts their hand on my kids, because I know my 7-year-old, he went and just as a story, his boss, where he worked for his boss. His boss is from the Middle Eastern part of the world, right? So he, I don't judge it because you can't put everybody in the same box, but kind of some of the Middle Eastern, their beliefs, the way they kind of where they put women versus the men. You know what I mean? The way they look, that men are more like superior. Like they're the ones. They're the head of the household, and women come second, kind of. That's the most respectfully way I could say it. But anyway, so my son's dad allowed him to go over there because he had to work, because he works for him, right? And so he goes, as for what I've run, my son comes home and he's limping. My 7-year-old, he's limping, literally can't put his weight on one of his legs, right? And I'm, my instinct, let me tell you, I will be a mama bear in a hot second, so I'm like, why are you limping? And my son's already been through a lot already, so I'm like, what are you doing? Because he's a real sensitive boy, so anything kind of like, if something touches this on the food plate, so he's not like a real boy, like real active, like doing like crazy boy stunts or something, so he's not that type to be, well, I was climbing on this and I fell, and he goes, oh, I fell at the park. So I knew, my instinct already told me. I said, you know what? I said, I'm not going to ask you a lot of times, and I kind of let it be, but I knew, I was like, I want you to tell me, but I want you to tell me when you're ready, what happened, because he's only 7. Why would he come home and his dad doesn't say anything, right? So just recently, probably about a couple weeks ago, I'm always talking to my son. I'm always kind of just having that line of communication open with him and just talking about stuff. And kids, they're innocent. So he was just talking to me and he goes, oh, like Ozzy's son, because he has a son too. And he's a little older than him. And so they were treating him, basically, long story short, they were treating him like the black sheep. So when his dad was at work at his business, his son, I guess, hit him in the leg with a metal pipe. And that's why he came home limping. And I'm like, where is his dad? Why is he allowing, first of all, why isn't he saying something to his boss? Why is he allowing other people to discipline him? Because I guess the boss too was disciplining him, and then they were making him go back in the room. My son was telling, I'm like, oh hell no. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't mean to, but I'm like, oh hell no. So he hasn't really been back with his dad until I get some solid stuff with the courts and stuff, because I'm not going to allow my son. That comes on me as a mother. If I allow and just turn the other cheek, you know what I mean? That's traumatizing my son, and my son self-esteem and thinking that this is the way you conduct yourself, and he's going to treat he'll treat his brother like that because that's the way he's being treated when he goes with his dad. His dad doesn't step up and say, hey, don't touch my son, I'll discipline him if there's any issues. He's like, he just lets it go. And I don't understand that. And I'm like, if you're not going to do what you're supposed to do as a father and as a protector, then, we're just going to have to. So I haven't let him go. Just recently, he hasn't been over there for a couple of weeks because I want to get everything said in the court. So then he has to be accountable if he tries to just pass off my son, because it's not going to happen. You obviously don't take my son as a priority, So I understand what you're saying. As a mother, there's no way. I'm not going to let him go. If I just turn the other cheek, then that's my accountability as a mother, and that's what we're talking about. Like there's if I let my son go, and then that's my fault.
Right. You're right. It would be your fault.
Implements truth. I understand that. I recall when I was dealing with the court systems, my child is now grown, and there were a few situations where I was getting calls at work where my daughter was with her dad, and try not to be that person. Try to be an adult and say, hey, listen, when you want to go to that place or that area, I would ask that you not take her there. And a couple of times, we went back and forth. So I went into the courts and I was like, this is what's happening. You all don't have a problem taking this money from me, whatever. But I feel like, and before I could get the words out my mouth, the judge was like, I will lock you up right now because of where he was taking her. I didn't even have to finish it. And he was like, no, my mom is going to babysit. I said, your mother is too old to babysit her. We agreed, this is what y'all decided. And he was like, okay, well, why isn't she coming to you? And I went into whatever. So then we agreed to have an outside sitter watch her during a certain time so that he would get his time to do what he wanted to do. And of course I was working, so I couldn't quit my job,
So your child is in a good environment, right?
And I said, if I need to, the judge said, no, I'm not going to change because this court order was put in place because of certain things. And so he had to pay, he wound up having to pay for the sitter during a certain hour. And I was fine with it. Ultimately, what I'm saying is you do have to speak up. You do have to say, even if you're the custodial parent or not, ask questions. We think because it's the aunt, the uncle, the grandmother, the grandfather, that certain things won't happen to our kids. Yes, it will.
Yes, it will.
It's always good to have all the cousins come over the house and spend the night. Everybody stay at their own house.
I hear what you're saying, and I've addressed this over and over with him, and then he's just like, he just kind of, it goes in one ear and out the other. He disregards everything everything that I try to co-parent and address this issue. He's just, he'll be like, oh yeah, but then there's another incident or there's another situation, and I don't know where my son is. So what if there's an emergency? I have no way of knowing the address of what he's at, and he doesn't feel like he needs to tell me. So it's just gotten to the point to where I need a judge to say, this is what you need to do, sir, and this is what needs to happen, and this is what you have to provide to, as a co-parent and as a parent, you have to provide the other parent with your address. He needs to get a place of his own first and foremost because he doesn't have a place of his own. So I can't. I've tried to do everything I can with the good intentions and try to talk to him, but he thinks he always kind of plays a victim, kind of like, oh, everybody's beating, everybody's picking on me kind of thing. And I'm like, you're grown, you need to shake it off. But I can't. We'll go head to head with him. I'll go head to head because when it comes to my son, I said, when it starts affecting my son, well, how you can live your life however you want to live it, but if you're doing things where it's affecting my son and his well-being and his self-esteem and who he is as a person, and you're not putting him first, then that's when I'm going to step in and I'm going to address this issue. And I've told him, and I've kind of tried to do it, as respectfully as I can. And he just disregards it. So he's not being a responsible co-parent, and I tell him, I said, your son looks at you like you are the most best superhero in the world right now.
Right.
And it's like, I never talk ill to him, to my son, but I said, you got to understand, he looks at you like you're God. You got to understand how much he looks at you. You understand how much he loves you, but I don't think he gets it. I don't know. I can't, there's only so much I can do on my end, so that's my next step, is just to have it set in stone. So then if things are not abided by, then he's going to be held accountable by the courts, because I can't do anything. And I don't want to do anything stupid or irresponsible, like on the street, like going and confronting him. And my son doesn't need to see that kind of confrontation anyway.
Right.
It's not healthy.
Right.
He's already been through traumatizing.
Want their parents. They don't understand all of that. And Sonia Watts, I agree with you totally. God is watching, and he never sleeps nor he slumbers. And any pain or difficulties, we can take it to him. But it does sadden my heart that every day, not every other day or once a week, every day you hear God's angels. I call them little angels. They're known to us. Someone is doing something to, take their innocence.
Right.
As always, thank you for allowing me to come up. I'm going to jump down and get back in the chat. And you both have a marvelous...
Thank you for talking with me, Betty.
And thank you for talking with me, Infamous. You are Talk to you
Bye.
later. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I just feel like, my son has been through a lot, and I'm trying to break those cycles. I've been through domestic violence, I've been through broken homes, I was a foster kid. So I'm actually trying to be, I have no family. So the way I look at it is I get to start my family tree over again. But to have a strong tree, you got to have strong roots. So
Right.
basically, I'm the roots, and it's a big responsibility and it's a big weight to carry, but I'm willing to do it to try to break some cycles and not have my children carry my baggage or his baggage. So I'm
Right.
trying to do some positive things that I didn't even get as a child. So that's just kind of where I'm at in my life. But
Right.
my
Right.
son shouldn't have to be traumatized at 7, 8 years old.
Right. Right. But you make sure you stay within the courts as you do it.
Most
You know what I'm
definitely.
saying? Don't just
Well, we
take
have a
that.
parenting plan, but there's nothing set by a judge, and that's the thing. It's kind of, I think that's how he thinks he can just get away with it. And that's what I'm saying. I feel 100% responsible, and I just been kind of talking self-talk and self-reflection, because it's like I can't allow this to happen, because the older he gets, the more it's going to be longer lasting, affecting him. And it's not okay. It's not okay for anybody to treat anybody that way, especially your own child, and put him in that position. So I'm trying to break some cycles and make some changes and do things that it's new to me, but I'm willing to do it. I want my kids to have more than I did, and more of a functioning family, functioning life versus what I had.
Right. Right.
I'm gonna jump down, Miss SP.
All
But thank
righty.
you for letting me come up. And
I appreciate you coming up. Yeah, we're gonna end this anyway, but I appreciate you especially for sharing with us, and I think we're gonna have a topic to on Wednesday. Well, I know we got Tyrese Tuesday and then we got Wednesday. Oh, I'm gonna be
I just
tired.
feel very comfortable, and that's why I don't want to get choked up, because that's why I'm just saying, like, your channel is very genuine, and I'm able to express myself or share things that I can trust that will be, you know what I mean? There's good feedback in the chat, there's good feedback from you, and I appreciate it, and I appreciate all of you guys. I just wanted to say that.
Sometimes you know what, infamous. Sometimes people have to listen sometimes to
Yeah.
what they're saying.
Yeah. And it just
And
feels good. And I just want to thank you for that, because it's just good to have a good sounding board. You know what I mean? So sometimes I feel like I'm a little lost sometimes, because I'm by myself and I don't have that feedback, like a
right,
positive, hey, we hear what you're saying, and maybe, just
yeah,
to sound off on. So I just want
right.
to say I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I think all of us done been through pretty much what you're going through,
Yeah, that's what I'm
and
saying.
and
And
so
it's just a good place. It's a good place. Your platform is a great place. And I
I
just want
guarantee you, I done been through what you're going through. I'll be the first to say I know what you're going through, but I think that everything that you're saying, like if you would say something that's off the wall or something, I say, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah, yeah. And that's what
If
that's
you
what
hadn't
family's
said
supposed to
anything,
do.
you said what you're going through, and then you said how you're gonna deal with it and how you don't want those generational curses to hit your offsprings and things, and you're doing
Yeah.
right, 'cause
And
that's
it
what you
just
gotta
feels
do.
good to be heard, you know what I mean? And so I don't feel like I'm, you know what I mean? Because it's stressful
You're not being
sometimes
judged.
being a single mom, and
Right,
it feels good to hear good feedback, to know that I'm not going crazy.
right,
That
right.
I'm making responsible decisions. But thank you. I'm gonna jump down.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye. Okay, family. I know we're over 28 minutes, you guys, but like I said, let's come on in here and chat. We'll be here Tuesday for Tyrese Gibson. We're supposed to we're gonna probably start our fast tomorrow, you guys. So make sure you eat today. Make sure you eat today, because we will start our fast tomorrow at 5 p.m. Central Time for the Tyrese Gibson case, and then I should call and see if I can get someone to pray. Somebody's calling. Hey, this is SP.
Hey, Miss SP.
How are you?
Hey, for the young lady, Miss Famous, are y'all still on live?
Yes.
I just want, want to say I had to pull my son out during curses because of the ex-husband issues and domestic violence or whatever. And I did go to the court system. And again, at the end of the day, I got my son and raised my son.
Mm-hmm.
So again, Miss Damon True, she can make it.
Mm-hmm.
She will make it.
Mm-hmm.
And again, during curses can be broken.
Mm-hmm.
I am a true witness because I got my son.
Okay.
Even though I went through domestic violence and the abuse from my ex-husband, and the court system did prove and show that my son would have been better off with me than his father, that speaks volumes. So keep her head up and keep God in her life and keep the faith because God sees everything and God is a blood covering.
Mm-hmm.
And to know that her child, at the end of the day, whether it's a boy or little girl, at the end of the day, it's a bond.
Mm-hmm.
Because we carried these babies in our stomach.
Mm-hmm.
We already had a bond in 9 months. They was growing inside our stomach.
Mm-hmm.
So that covering was already planted.
Right.
But keep prayer, faith, and God. Her and her baby gonna be okay. Because I'm a true witness. Because my son is my true witness of cursing generation purposes.
All right.
So just tell her keep her head up. Even though what I'm going through. But when it comes to a child, God knows best.
Yeah.
Yeah, have a good night. I'm still alive.
All right. Thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye. I want to thank everybody for sharing their stories, coming on, encouraging one another. This is a good family. I love you guys. Thank the caller for calling in. Thank you, Betty, for coming on, calling in. And every one of you guys, I'll see you Tuesday, 5 p.m. Central Time. Be good, be safe, and be nice to each other. Bye.
Hold your power.
Decided to go into pre-law, then journalism. And with no academic focus, my grades took off in their own direction. You will fail at some point in your life. Accept it. You will lose. I found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. You will embarrass yourself. You will suck at something. There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living. I didn't quit. I prayed. I prayed. So you will catch a break. And I did catch a break.